All right. The little sign comes up that says you are live. And I see that we already have people joining. Hey, Beth, you're such a you're here every single day, Beth Malik, and Mari, and Donna Lynn from Vineland, South Jersey, Anna Mae Foley, always with us from Fitchburg, Massachusetts, and Jeanette Persons from Lisbon, North Dakota, and Rebecca Frenick. You're enjoying the book? Oh my God, I get an early opportunity for the shameless book plug of the day. There it is. And I want to know, as soon as one of you can actually walk into a bookstore, because I hear they're open in some places, and look to see, because I think when you make the New York Times bestseller list, they put you out front. I think there's a table. So let me know if it is. It's Why Did I Come to This Room? A candid conversation about aging. So there it is. Boy, I got that in early today. So here's the deal, you guys. I want to know if you've ever had a day like a morning like I had this morning. It's Wednesday. It's May 20th. So you go into your bathroom, you look at yourself in the mirror before getting into the shower, and you figure, I can get away with one more day out of this blow dry. I'm pretty sure I can pull it off. So you just get in and you just shower and you don't wash your hair. Then you go and you get dressed and you put on your moisturizer, you put on your makeup, and then you go to work on that third day blowout. And you realize that it is just not going to work. What do? I'm here to tell you. You get undressed, you get back in the shower, and you're cursing yourself all the way for being so darn lazy that you didn't just go ahead and wash your hair the first time. So I just want you to know that y'all better appreciate these fluffy little bangs here, okay? Because I had to like redo the whole thing this morning. So listen, I was on another Facebook Live show the other night, 2 nights ago, I think it was, on the Suki and Scott show. And Suki and Scott, I mean, they've been kind of a duo. I remember seeing them on morning TV here in New York. They're both now doing a bunch of other things, but they decided that they had this great rapport. So they decided to do this Facebook Live show like I do. And they do it Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. at night. And we're going to put it up, how you go to their page, because I think our audiences are quite similar. So I had a ton of fun with them. There it is right there, how you can see their show. I had so much fun with them that I decided today I wanted to share them with you. And since we're all on-air people, I figured that we can talk about what it's like to be an on-air person, what it's like for all of us, not only to share our shows with you, but pretty much our lives. So let's meet Suki, Krishnan, and Scott. Otherwise, no. Suki and Scott. Oh, I'm loving that, Scott. Look at you. Oh, look at that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, Joan.
Are we on? Yeah, we were just reading our favorite book. Are we on now?
They were fun. I had some fun with you guys the other night. I really did. And so,
Joan, listen, you were.
Yeah?
I'm going to let you in a little secret. After you left, I told Suki and the rest of the audience, I said, Suk, I think I have a little crush on Joan Lunden right now.
Well, I'm glad I washed my hair. I'm glad I got back in the shower and redid my hair then. So listen, first of all, how did you guys decide to do? I mean, I just figured one day it's going to be really boring if I'm not doing something. And this will be my little contribution to the pandemic. How did you guys start doing the show together on Facebook?
Well, you know, it's funny because Suki and I, we spoke for a long time about doing a show digitally just for the fun of it. And we started doing our show once a week in a studio. And then when this came about, I said, Suk, we should do this every night because we're home. And now we, you know, because when we were in a studio, right, Suk, it's hard to get guests to come to the studio.
Yeah.
This way, I mean, this is just it's simple, easy. And it's just been amazing. And she and I got together on this every night, and it just took off, right, Suki? Everybody said you guys have to be on every night, and we just didn't want to miss one.
Well, Joan, you had talked about when you were at your time at GMA where you connected with certain anchors, and it was like a brotherhood, a friendship. It was this undeniable sense of chemistry. And when Scotty and I were together, it just felt that way. There was an ease, there was a rapport, there was a trust. And all of those things just kind of translated to having a great working partnership. So when we had to kind of go our separate ways and, kind of find our way again, we're like, you know what, if they won't put us together, we're going to put ourselves together, and we're going to create. Forget them. Forget the TV people. They don't know what they're talking about. We're going to put ourselves together, and we're going to create a new platform. And Facebook Live and Facebook has offered us so much, and also putting the work that we do on YouTube and also IGTV. I mean, there's so many mediums now where we can connect that Scotty and I were like, we don't need anybody to hire us. I mean, of course, we need people to hire us, but we really do need people to hire us. I'm going to rephrase that.
Let's rephrase that one.
So, don't we want people to hire us?
We need money, Scotty. Yes, we need money. Yes. We can't keep doing this for free.
But I have a few people. Jennifer Stoddard says, Suki, you look great today.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I was with Joan Lunden, so I felt like I had to do my hair and actually put makeup on today. So thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it.
Well, I feel bad now because I just put a sweatshirt on. And I got to say, that's part of what's so great about doing this. Scott, come on, we could have our underwear on. Sandals.
I'm in my pajamas, for God's sake.
Yeah, all you have to do is put a top on. I remember back to before Good Morning America, I anchored WABC News in New York.
Yeah.
And Roger Grimsby, you guys remember him.
I know Grimsby and Butel.
Crusty old guy, like cantankerous old guy. And he used to, in the summertime, walk down to the studio with his shorts on and a shirt hanging out and a jacket and his tie. He never did the news with long pants.
I love it. And meanwhile, Butel was probably like completely to the
like he was a walk-off GQ for men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Here now the news.
Yes.
Here now the news. May he rest in
Those guys
peace.
are great.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So listen, I remember seeing both of you on Pix 11, and it was that morning shift. Oh wait, Suki, you were on even earlier for a while.
Yeah, I was on earlier with Good Day New York at like I get up at 1 a.m. You know, so
You did wake up before Good Day New York, didn't you? Yeah. What time did you wake up for that?
12:45.
Oh my God.
A.m.
Yeah. And Joan, they wanted me to do Good Day. Holy cow! It's really early before wake up, and I refused.
How does that play out? I mean, let's just talk. Like we all have like this immediate
Connection.
Yeah, we have immediate connection because we've all been in that really early morning canoe. It's not even really early morning. It's kind of like the end of the night canoe. And what happened to you? I mean, do you have kids also, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
I do. I have a 19-year-old in college, and I have a 10-year-old daughter. So yeah, it's it gets a little crazy, sure.
But I mean, when you're the woman, I hate to say this, Scott, but it's even harder. And I took my little girl Jamie when she was 8 weeks old to work with me. Every morning, I'd scoop her out of the crib and put her on the changing table right on this little bunting that I had already. And I'd gingerly change her diaper so I didn't wake her up too much and take her in the car. And I did left side for the first hour of the show.
Wow.
Left side for the second hour.
It was
crazy.
I was pumping before and pumping after. Listen, the legit. Scott's like, what did I miss?
You guys need
if you want, Scott. The logistics.
Yeah, can I go get some frosted flakes while you guys are talking about pumping here?
You guys know this.
No, but I mean, I think anybody that works those sort of shifts, like, whether you're, New York, so much of our world right now is 24/7. And there are people that wake up every day and do that ungodly hour. Some people really do well with it. And I did really well with it for almost 28 years. I mean, it really did. I was okay with it until I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. It was just like, kind of, I always call it like the bus that I was on when it was time to get off that stop. I had to get off. I just knew it had to happen. And my children were part of the bigger reason. And also I just felt like there's other things out there that we could explore. I mean, like, what's happening right now in this virtual world, how we can all connect from somebody, in Europe to us right here in our kitchens. I mean, I'm in my kitchen, you're all in your houses. I mean, I feel like people want that real authenticity that sometimes you can't do in a real news, kind of background. You really can't get all personal like we can here. And
we just saw your son.
Yes.
Walk through, like, what happens? Because your husband is,
he's in the FDNY. He's a firefighter.
He's a cleaner.
He's a chief. He's a chief.
He's a chief, and he cleans.
But he's still essential. So he has to go, and you're on the air. And if the kids want something,
I think, yeah. Scotty and I were talking about this. I think in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, you're willing to make a lot of concessions. And really put your life on the back burner. And, millennials, just even working with millennials has taught me so much. They get a lot of flack. But what they do want is a real balance of work and personal life and personal space. Something that I think Gen Xers, which I'm a Gen Xer, I never was able to do that. I never had that formulation in my brain that I can actually fight for what I want. Like, it's okay. Like, I don't have to always be at a deficit when it comes to my personal life. So
for so many women, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head of what, women in this country really, now that it's almost become a thing that every woman does, having a job outside the house, mostly because the couple needs it, just financially.
You have to work. Yeah. And 2 salaries are a must.
And sometimes you just want the challenge and you enjoy doing it. You and I were on the air together.
I know. I was telling Scotty, I was like, I forgot to pull up those pictures.
That's amazing, yeah.
Well, I was sitting next to Joan, I was like,
I just happened to last night pull up that tape.
Oh, I love it.
So let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Oh, my goodness. I love it.
Come on, sound. Well, I don't know why we're not. I don't know why it worked.
It's not so easy to work that share screen, right?
All right. So I guess I have to take technical director off my.
It's okay. But I have to tell you, that was like, what a moment for me. I mean, what a moment. I was telling Scott, I was like, I woke up that morning, I was like, I'm going to anchor with Joan Lunden, Scott. That was a very weird, surreal moment. Like, don't mess up. Don't mess up.
Joe, you know what? I was just looking at it on my phone. It was actually playing, even though it wasn't playing for us on here. It was actually playing on the actual broadcast.
The audience?
I saw you guys interacting.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, no, that was how many years ago was that?
When was that?
That was probably like in 2015, 20 something, 2014.
I don't remember what I was on promoting, but but the producer said, would you, if you're going to be here, would you just co-host with the other?
Oh yeah, we're like, please come on. Yeah.
It was, the other person was Jennifer, right?
Yeah, it was Frances. It was Frances Rivera. She's at MSNBC now. Yeah.
Frances.
So it was fun, and then of course you, Scott, you are, I mean, you've not only been a news anchor, but a sportscaster, and you're still, I mean, working for so many different entities.
Go ahead, Joan. Go ahead. List them down. Go ahead.
But I mean, I can remember your CBS Sports and, of course, WWE for like, what, 9-10 years? Have you been with them that long?
I've been there almost 11 years now. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
All right. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that SmackDown.
Oh, boy. Oh, look at me, huh?
And let's assume they're hearing it out there.
I'm going to tell you right now.
So did we hear it? Did everybody else hear it? He's the guy that said, "Are you ready for a smackdown?" I love that.
Yeah, look, it's here. It's right here on the phone. You could hear it.
All right. So we are ready for smackdown. So I assume that the production of all those shows are on pause right now?
No. The WWE has not stopped for 1 second during this pandemic. They've gone with no audience in the arenas, but we have not stopped. And I say to Suki every day, thank the good Lord for Vince McMahon, because I just keep rolling along here. As a matter of fact, we just had a pay-per-view event last Sunday that I hosted on the WWE Network. And you're literally, when you're on all over the world. It's amazing.
Oh
you know, you're in the studio, virtual studio with just all automated cameras, and you're out to 37, 38 countries. But they have not stopped. And as long as they haven't stopped, I don't stop. So,
and I gotta tell you something. If other people don't, I mean, I've done a bunch of things, believe it or not, with WWE, friends with Vince and Linda and Stephanie and the gang, Triple H. And it is a family. I mean, they travel together on these buses. And like when you're in one of the arenas where they are, if you go downstairs, there's like, I don't know, 15, 20 buses down there that has
like rockstar buses. Yeah.
It's crazy. And it is like a family. And they all go together. So they almost could. I mean, that's probably part of why they can continue going, because they are this kind of family that travels together. You know, I did a behind closed doors of WWE. It was actually right before it changed. They were still WCW. Do I remember that?
Well, they bought WCW and they were WWF, and then they changed to WWE.
And I actually got into the action. So let's take
I want to see that.
Let me see. Let's do this.
Let's take a look at that. We're gonna have to listen to it on our phones. Everybody else can hear.
Okay, I am.
You ready?
Wow, look at you, huh?
Oh, it gets better. Why they can continue going. She's telling me that journalists give the WWE a bad name.
Yeah,
So
that's that's Tammy, I think.
So now watch this one.
Whoa.
Hey, I don't.
And that's my guy, Mean Gene.
And the winner is.
Two things in that video.
Yes.
For $100, what was the name of the move that you put on that WWE diva right there? What was the name of that move?
Well, I wouldn't remember.
They told me, but I don't remember. What was it?
Was it a finger four headlock? Oh.
No, what are you, crazy? And by the way, the gentleman with the microphone that was in the ring, Mean Gene Okerlund, who passed away last year, maybe 2 years ago, he's the reason as a little kid why I wanted to get into WWE, because of him.
Really? So what was the name of the move I did?
It was a snapmare.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's called. You snapped her over.
Now, that, of course, didn't hurt me, but I must tell you, I mean, I think that's Behind Closed Doors episode lives on my YouTube channel, so you can watch the whole thing, because I actually went to all these practices. That was the thing about Behind Closed Doors, is that I didn't just go and like point the camera. I got involved. I went through the training, and
right.
that is how I had herniated a disc in my neck way back when I flew with the Thunderbirds for Good Morning America, and I went up in an F-16, and we actually took 9Gs, which you never take unless for a bad reason you're crashing, or
when your face is
oh my God, it's
back
like and I had to wear a G suit, which what it does is it's all, you put it on and then you put your flight suit on. I still have the flight suit.
Cool.
I'm so good on Halloween, you can't imagine. NASA, F-16, Special Forces, U-2 spy plane. Oh my God. And they all have my name on it. It's so cool. So one night we went out, my kid said to me, "Oh, you're not dressing up tonight?" And I said, "Give me one sec." I literally ran into the house, ran down to what we call the Joan Lunden dressing room. And I got one of the suits. I got it on. I swear to God, I was back in the car in 4 minutes as a NASA, trainee.
Top Gun.
Oh my God, Top Gun. Top Gunette. So, but the space suit like inflates really hard. So to the point that from your knees up, you are bruised.
Wow.
But it inflates because it pushes the blood back up. So as you're taking these 9G, it's crazy. And one time I was in an F-18 with the Navy, and I got to land on an aircraft carrier. And by the way, I was in the back seat. There was a pilot in the front seat. And you come in and you get to call out your coordinates, and you land. But when you land, what do you call that thing? It catches you.
Oh, the little pull.
Oh yeah, the little.
Yeah.
There's a little rubber band thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
You go a little rubber band. You're going like 200 miles an hour because you've slowed down, and that thing catches you, and that is the fastest stop you will ever make in your entire life. I mean, it's just. But when they catapult you off the ship, what you do is you're on a thing that holds you in place, and they rev the engine of this F-18 to full speed. And then it like the little things that hold you go down, and you are literally catapulted off. And they say that if you catapulted a pickup truck, that it would go a mile before.
Wow. Oh my God.
I mean, and that is just like roller coaster times 10,000. Anyway, enough about me. But,
and the pilot, Joan, the pilot, Ms. Lunden, you okay back there? Yeah, no, this is great. I love it. I love it.
It was like an instant left. But I got to tell you, when I was doing the 9Gs, they tell you to, they bank the plane, and then they say to you, you're in control, pull back as hard as you can to propel yourself at this certain banking. And you're taught in the training, keep your head back against the seat all the time.
Yeah.
And they said, so you see where you're going to pull back? Yep. Well, my head was down. So the first time we did it, I mean, of course there's videotape because there was a little pin.
Yeah.
And my head just snapped down and it herniated the disc.
Oh my gosh.
And the guy said, "Are you okay?" I couldn't talk. I mean, I was trying to say, "Kid," and he realized immediately what had happened. So then he said, "So do you want to try that again?" I said, "Hell yes." I said, "When am I ever going to get an offer to take 9Gs against with the Thunderbird pilot?" So he couldn't believe that I was asking to do it again, but that's kind of me.
You know what, Joan, you're a better person than me, because I was asked to do something, and I have a deep fear of doing anything like that. I don't even think I'd ever come back. I couldn't imagine taking 9G and whoa, that's not me. That's not me.
But it was the wrestling.
You can't even do 5G, Joan.
I can't even do 3G.
It was here's Mari Savard. I remember those segments. I loved them. Would love to have been there in those jets. My husband calls these my stupid human tricks. And I'm like a loose cannon. I say yes to everything. That I think I might have told you guys that a page out of the Joan Lunden playbook is whenever anyone asks you if you want to do something.
Yes.
Yes. and then go figure out how to do it.
Right.
Are
Of
you
course
with
I
me
can
on
do
this,
that.
Scott? You're with me.
Absolutely.
Would you go in the ring with
Joan,
one of
I've been
the WWE guys?
I've been asked to host shows where I haven't watched one iota of that actual programming. And of course I'll do it. Give me a day. I'll be an expert by the time we get there.
So, hey, listen, you're not just a guy, but you're a sportscaster. How are you dealing with no sports, except, of course, for WWE, but no baseball, no basketball, no football?
There is nothing. And you know what? I really don't miss it that much, because being in the business for so long and covering these guys and being in all the clubhouses for so long, I kind of lost my joy of actual watching sports. So with the girls, I never really, when I wasn't working, I never really had time to sit on a Sunday and watch football. I'd have to watch the highlights, or I would do the highlights on a Sunday night, of course. But you know what, Joan, it doesn't really faze me. I wasn't one of those guys where I lived and died by sports. I know a lot of people do. I'm very busy. Our show at night's been keeping me busy with just putting things together with Suki. And I can't even, I know at the beginning of the quarantine, we were all bored. What are we going to do? The days are going to go so slow. And it seems to be the opposite. The days are flying by. I don't even have enough time in the day. Before I know it, it's time for 7 o'clock, right? It's time for 7 o'clock in our show. But when it comes to sports, I really, unless I have to watch something for something that I'm actually doing or hosting, I don't get a chance to just sit. Oh, it's football Sunday. Jets and Giants are on. Leave me alone. I'm going to watch TV. I kind of want to, I want to play with my daughter. I'd rather do things with them, and then I could kind of catch up on what happened later in the night. But working in the business with all these millionaire baseball players and football players and covering these guys, I don't really care who wins or loses anymore. When I was at Picks, I always wanted the local teams to do well. It kept us busier. I either wanted them to do really well or really crappy, because when they're really bad, I could be more sarcastic and come up with more jokes.
Sherry Pollard.
So that was always fun too.
Sherry Pollard is saying,
"What's that?"
Joan, hi, Joan. Saying yes is what made watching GMA so great. We got to experience those adventures through you.
Yeah.
What do you think of? What is your opinion, though, as a guy and as a sportscaster, about sports starting back up with no audience?
Listen, if WWE they need an audience to be effective, right? The audience was a big part of that show. And the superstars respond. They play off of the audience and their reactions, right? Yeah. But they've been doing it without the audience, and we're kind of getting used to it. The other sports, because we are sports entertainment, the other sports are real competitions, right? Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. Yeah. If you don't have the crowd in that arena, does it really make a difference to us watching on TV? I've always liked it on TV because I like to have the announcers telling me what's going on. It makes it more exciting. Yeah. When you're at the arena and you watch a game without the announcers, it's a whole different story. But here's my thing. For like baseball, if they want to start back up, to me, you have to show up in your uniform, play the game, and leave in your uniform and go home. Because you have to eliminate, first of all, the entire locker room clubhouse situation if you want to keep this virus from spreading.
You're right.
Okay. You got it. And the dugouts the guys are so close. On the benches in basketball, they're so close. Yeah. So you really need to show up, practice in your, come in your uniform, spread apart, play the game, and go home. And that's really, if you're talking about preventing the spread of anything, and it's still not 100%, right? Because anybody could have it.
It's not. I'm sorry. I don't think it's going to be the same. And I think it's like, so many of us.
It's not, it won't be.
Yeah, we look to sports to kind of like, be an escapist. It's a place where we see our heroes kind of play out their stories. We root for the underdog. It's something we see their stories reflective of our own stories when we are, kids growing up in Little League or, wanting one day to play professional basketball. So for me, I'm with Scotty. The audience creates that energy and that push. It's going to be, the whole world is in a whole new order, right? What are schools going to look like? What is everything going to look like when it reopens? I think we're rewriting the script on what 2020, the next decade, is going to look like for America and how we live.
And by the way,
you have to wonder whether big businesses are going to keep all their big buildings, or whether they've kind of learned that they can do a lot of things by remote.
Yeah. I kind of like, go ahead, Scotty.
No, Suki, I was going to say, what happens when they do, okay, hey, let's get baseball back and NBA and we start up again, and you get one guy who tests positive, he shows up at the park, they test everyone on the way in, and this guy tests positive. You're going to shut everything back down again. It's going to be a very awkward's not the word I'm looking for. I feel like it's going to be like Suki said, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Because I think when they do let crowds in, they're only going to let 50% of the crowds in. So
and it's not only different, it's not only different for the crowd, but Scott, there's a difference. Like my two sons play a lot of sports, and it's different when you're practicing, and then the adrenaline that goes through you perform different when you're actually in a real game. Yeah. And what about you, Suki? You have a new show. I want you to talk about it. Will it be done in a studio?
No, it's actually done remotely, believe it or not. It's kind of using what's happening right now. The show always was going to be remote. It is called Find Love Live. It's a dating show that kind of is an expansion of their franchise of like 90 Day Fiance, before and after. All of these hit shows about relationships and stories of the people. But this time TLC wanted to do something live. And so this is basically people coming in virtual dating boxes. It's like speed dating. I'm sort of the on live TV.
It looks just like this, Joan.
Just like this, Joan. Yeah, just like this. We're moving boxes. We have two singles. Yeah. Their profiles go up on like Friday. People get to like watch it, and then we open it up that day, and you can start participating in wanting to be live on on the show. And so that's sort of how it works. I mean, we sometimes have their mothers there because obviously we're in people's homes. So we can have mom vouch for son or say, what's the problem? Sometimes ex-boyfriends and girlfriends see that their profile is up and, might want to put the kibosh on it. So there are lots of twists and turns. People get dumped, which is unfortunate because like, I wouldn't use the word dumped. People get let go. Like, you see their profile. Yeah. Okay. It's dumped.
They get dumped.
Okay. So you have three people, and then you have to narrow it down to two. Then you have to narrow it down to the one person that then goes on the virtual date. So it's on TLC. It's called Find Love Live. It's a lot of fun. It's about connection. It's about the possibility of love during this time. And so many people feel single and isolated and are really trying to connect. And, the way dating apps worked, the 10, 15 years prior, that isn't the way we're going to be dating, past COVID, post-COVID, I should say. So this is like a new reality. This is a new world order. And this is how people are kind of creating connections, virtual connections. And I actually think it's quite fantastic because we're taking the whole, of course, you're looking at the physical element. Are you attracted to their smile, their face? But overall, you're looking at the emotional element, right? We're looking at emotional intimacy because that whole physical, it's like back when our parents used to date, you wouldn't really, kiss each other unless you really felt that. It went a lot slower. Yes, everything was slower. The courtship was slower. I feel like we were growing up in a world that was discarding people. Swipe right, swipe left. I don't like the way this looks. I don't like the way this looks. You were willing to write people off so quickly without getting to know them. And I feel like this is a time where you have to slow things down. People are doing so much soul searching about who they want to be, how they want to live their life, what they value, what's the trajectory of their next 20 years. I know people of our age, I'm 48. Scotty's, how much older are you than me, Scott?
49.
And I'm 45.
47.
but we're all like reevaluating, and I think that it's a perfect touch point. It just scratches the surface. I mean, listen, it's entertainment. It just scratches the surface. But even though it scratches the surface, it starts a conversation about connection and emotional intimacy and really connecting those dots and weaving that. So maybe after all of this is over, they can really continue a greater love and fall in love.
They can actually see each other.
Yeah.
And then one of them's going to say, "Oh my God, I picked you."
Well,
They look a lot better on screen.
Yeah, even when you're married, that happens, doesn't that? What did I do?
Don't you have a 19-year-old? Do you remember? A 19-year-old?
I do. I have a yes.
Okay,
Penn
so
State, 19.
Tell me, so you have a 19-year-old, I have all these teenagers. They bump each other by text now. That just seems so.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, we're done. I imagine mine probably dump on Snapchat. Like,
yes.
The picture of the eye. You're done.
You're finished.
You're
Bye-bye.
finished.
And how many girls do you have?
5. I have 3 daughters
5
that are in their 30s, and then I have 2 sets of twins, but they're boy, girl. So during the school year, when the real school year before this all started, the sports schedules in my house are crazy because they all play sports. They all play soccer and basketball and tennis, and it's like the schedule for their games is bananas.
Yeah.
But did you have all the drama with the girls growing up, like the high school drama?
Oh, we're in the middle of
craziness?
it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. Middle school is the worst. Okay, middle school girls is the worst, and girls can be really cruel. And I got to tell you, since they've all been home, I've talked about this here on my Facebook Live. They're nicer. They're sweeter, kinder. They're not rolling their eyes so much or giving you that, like you are the biggest moron and the most annoying moron in the world. They've been together as a family. We actually all eat dinner at the same time. Nobody's late because of a game practice. And I looked out the window the other day and they were all outside playing volleyball together. It was like, who are these children?
Yeah.
Because wherever they are, leave them here and don't bring me my real ones back. Because they are, I'm telling you, without all that outside influence, that's part of the good thing that has happened right now, I think, in this pandemic. It's like, we have to go back.
No, I
say that to Suki all the time, right, Suki? I said, Suki, I think I like it this way.
I know.
I especially love not paying my mortgage. That's even more fun.
No, but Scotty's right. I mean, I used to fight to have family dinners once a weekend. That's all we could manage because our schedule was so crazy. And I thought that was like, wow, we had dinner together. Yay. But now, we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And of course, that comes with its own set of crazy. But, the reality is, I think it's brought us back down to family values. That family really is what counts, this connection, this group of people that you're surrounded with, and also the children that they need to connect with each other. Because really, when we're gone, when we are no longer here on this earth to be their connection, they have to find something that joins them together as a family unit. You know what I mean? And I feel like my kids are finally seeing that in each other. I mean, they're young, but they're doing it. They're doing it, which is really important. My husband's taking out the garbage, Joan. Say hi to
Joan. There it is, Joan. There it is.
Good husband.
There it is.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. And this time really makes me appreciate being alone, my alone time, too. with all the family time.
So, and I have something to ask you because I have my 16-year-olds have a birthday on June 10th. They'll be 17. I can't even believe
We'll be there for the drive-by.
We will be there for the drive-by. We'll come.
But you have little Shayla. She's 6 and she's going to
she's turning 7. Shila's turning 7.
So what do you do for a birthday party?
Okay, I have this great thing for parents out there. I mean, they could do it for their husbands. They could do it for their kids. They could do it for anything. It's called. I mean, and I'm not being paid by this or anything. This is just one mom passing along information to another mom and another dad. So it's called Tribute, TRIBUTE.com. And basically what it is a virtual greeting card. And you put out the links as the person who's going to, use this video, but they'll actually create the video for you for a small fee. And you people are, basically say, hi, I'm sorry I can't be with you. Happy birthday.
Oh, on a video.
Yeah, link it all together. It's a tape. Yeah. It's like a videotape of feelings, of connections. It's all out there. It's amazing.
Oh gosh, I know my daughter.
Listen, my daughter just turned 19 back on May. When's my daughter's birthday?
May 10th.
I think it's May 10th. And she, at the end of the day, you know what she said to us? She said, "I think that was the best birthday I ever had." Because we really, I mean, we were like, boy, what are we going to do for a 19-year-old on her birthday? So aside from my wife ordering 8, what's that?
What did you do?
So I said, aside from my wife ordering 800 presents online that would be waiting in the kitchen,
that's a girl.
We basically, you know what we did? My wife went across the street. She made a couple of cakes, right? We decorated the kitchen. We had a little, barbecue action, things like that. And that was the day I did the pay-per-view, so I wasn't even home for most of the day. And it was just her friends did the drive-by. All her old friends from home were all home from college. They did the drive-by. She came outside. There's a woman, you pay her $20. She'll come put a giant happy birthday sign on your lawn for the day. And she really I think because it was just everybody just hanging out together. And, the place was decorated and festive for the day. And we kept bringing out presents. And her boyfriend came later in the night from Long Island. And she said, you know what? I think that was the best birthday I ever had. And she's had some good parties, mind you.
And some of them you even knew about.
Oh, yes. Right. Some of them I was involved in. But listen, you can only do so much, right? And if they have friends in the area, even I know because we go on those drive-bys every other day with the little kids, but the older ones, they love it too.
Absolutely.
When their friends come by, and listen, if they could all stop and get out of the car, it's 10 feet away, whatever it is. Yeah. And you just got to come up with, different way. And the kids know that you can only do what you can do, right? You can't, this is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they'll appreciate. They're going to be what, 16 or 17?
17.
17. They will appreciate more than you think for everything that you went through to make the day as special as you can. They'll appreciate it.
Start with the big birthday sign, decorating the doors, all those little things that you wouldn't normally do that you're going to do. You know what I mean? Do that tribute video because that's really cool because all of their friends and, family members who live all across the country can participate. It really is really.
By the way, Suki's right because I didn't do the company she's talking about. We just had my wife had all her friends send in like 15-second happy birthday videos. And then we just meshed it all together.
Like a producer. You can do all that.
Yeah, like on the iMovie, you throw them all together. And we all sat at, this was at 12 o'clock midnight before her birthday. We sat in the living room and we watched the video. And her friends from college and everywhere. And she was, my 19-year-old was laughing. She had a tear in her eye. And those videos make it even all the more special, Well,
I got to get busy. I know I won't say.
Yeah, you got a lot to do, Joan.
I got a lot to do, and I'm not going to say we're not going to talk too much. I don't know if Shayla's in the room.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. She is going to be. She wants a unicorn, so we're going to try and figure out how to get this unicorn riding horse thingamajiggy that she wants. God bless Amazon. Hopefully, it will get here.
Oh, God bless Amazon.
Yeah, I'm into unicorns and rainbows, so she wants to color her. Her room in rainbow color, and she wants to get rid of her wood furniture and, paint it hot pink.
Ooh, Shayla's like going big time.
I'm like, I'm like, we're not redecorating until you turn 12, 13. Sorry, we're not doing that just yet. We're not doing it.
When they get to be 16 and 17, my daughter just wants to be able to pick out, clothes and jewelry and herself. She actually comes to us with like this produced thing that she does so that we don't screw it up. And those are her exact words, so that we don't screw it up.
Tie-dye. Tie-dye outfits are very big now.
Yeah, I mean, she just wants everything. And my son, all he wants are iTunes cards and Amazon cards.
Yeah, all guys want that.
Whatever you do to do all those games on their computers.
Oh my God, can I tell you those games on the computers? Just not, it doesn't, but that's how they're communicating right now. That's their world. That's their social life. I mean, you can't stop that. A lot of teenagers are getting together in parking lots and sitting on top of cars, with music on. Yeah.
Some are even asked to go out.
Yeah.
Which just has astonished me. They have so bought into the whole thing. I can't believe that they're not asking to go to their friends' houses. And their friends are also totally sheltering in place.
Yeah, everybody's sheltering. Yeah. I think it's changing the way they communicate with each other in a different way. They don't, I know that they're missing each other, but they're not willing to admit it just yet. They're not yet.
But it's coming.
Maybe when the summer's around, right? Summer.
Yeah. Now that it's getting nice outside. And of course, we have people from all over here with us. So listen, I got to let you guys go. I don't know what you guys are doing. I think I have a radio show in a few minutes.
I know. No worries. Joan, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Plan B, when you have a book come out March 10th and the world closes down March 13th.
I know.
You go to Plan B and you do a lot of podcasts. Oh, look at you guys.
What did you say, Joan? What?
Which chapter are you on?
I'm on 18.
Are you on? I hope I can. Why can't I lose weight? Like
that's been my life story. That's
my libido.
That's my.
Joan, I'm on. Keep it moving. It's harder for the Undertaker to catch up with you.
Okay.
That's the one
All
I'm
right,
on.
guys. You've been great.
Thank you, Joan. We love you.
Joan, thank you. Good luck.
And yeah, we don't mean to cut you off there. Tomorrow, I've got Kathy Lee Gifford. So make sure to join me. It's going to be a long time since she and I got an opportunity to do a catch up. I think she still has her house here in Greenwich, but she has moved to Nashville and kind of designed a new life for herself. And I can't wait for that. Jackie Falco, a fabulous nutritionist, will be here on Friday to help us all keep our heads on straight as we go into the Memorial Day weekend. All right. So I will see you tomorrow. Namaste, everyone. Stay safe.